Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today I'm going to finish my conclusion of Black Adam. Okay, now obviously I'm a big Black Adam fan. As you can see, I wouldn't own this thing if I didn't love Black Adam. You know, obviously, I mean, look here, okay. Yes, I love Black Adam, okay? I've always loved Black Adam ever since I was first introduced to the character back in the Shazam Power Hour, okay? Oh, no, actually, it was earlier than that. It was when I read the comic books when I was a little kid, okay? I remember seeing Black Adam punch Superman and knock him to the ground. Superman was on his knees and Black Adam was just beating the shit out of him. I'd never seen Superman take that kind of damage before. Okay, this was in the late 70s. But I couldn't read back then, but I remember seeing that in a comic book and just thinking like, who is this guy that can hurt Superman? Well, it was Black Adam. Okay, now that I've finished reviewing the entire movie, I've gone through every single scene. That's why it's 15 videos, okay? It's because I went through every single scene. So this is the last video and my last say on this topic, okay? Once I'm done talking about this here in the conclusion, then I'm done with Black Adam. Unless they make a sequel. Okay, I'm gonna go back to reviewing chick flicks, all right? Because I know that's what you want. Like I said, I did this for myself. I wanted to analyze this movie because I'm such a fan. Okay, I wanted to take it apart, just deconstruct it, and have my opinions posted for posterity. Okay, so that we can talk about Black Adam. I can always look it up again in the future, you know, to remember what I thought about the first one, okay? Now that I've explained the entire movie to you, and I've already told you about the character, how he was created, where he's from, all that kind of stuff, all right. Black Adam to me was the anti-Superman, the original anti-Superman, okay? What I really loved about Black Adam was I loved the fact that he was everything that Captain Marvel was supposed to be. Okay, he was supposed to be everything that Captain Marvel is, but he wasn't, okay? He got all this power, he decided, in his hubris, he decided he wanted to take over the world, which is what all of us would have done if we'd been granted that power as well. So there's a relatability to him, okay? I love the fact that he didn't have any scruples, that this was a very dangerous person, okay, a very dangerous person in the world, okay? Now, typically, back then when he first came out in the 1940s, typically your super villains were not necessarily as powerful as a superhero. They were smarter than the superhero, but the superhero would find a way to defeat the villain. Okay, usually the superheroes were good looking, the villains were ugly. You know, I mean, it was just that typical stuff. You know, the villains had no friends. The superheroes always had friends. They always have love interests. They always had all that kind of stuff, all right? Well, as time started changing, they started inventing the anti-hero. And so that started to change, okay? I mean, look at this guy. This guy's fucking built like a brick shithouse, okay? I mean, this guy looks like he could be a superhero, but he's not. That's the thing. He's not a superhero. He's got the powers of a super, but he's not a superhero. Okay, he's a super villain. Okay, and that's what's so appealing about him. Okay, is this guy, by all definitions, he's to be a superhero, but he's not. He chooses to be a super villain. Hence, the superheroes have to take him down. Okay, he works that way. You make him an anti-hero, it doesn't work. I mean, who the fuck is he gonna be an anti-hero against? There's nobody that can really stand up to him. You know? I mean, even Superman and him would have to fight. That fight would go on for weeks before there was a winner, you know? I mean, so same thing with Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel can't defeat him one-on-one. They can't defeat each other. You know, that's the results of trickery. You know, so it's like the character of Black Adam is such a rich character because he's evil. Here's an evil person with the powers of Superman. What are you going to do with him, you know? And what did they do with him? Well, they just turned him into a superhero. In this movie, they turned him into a superhero, okay? And I know why they did it. They did it because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is not going to play a supervillain in a movie, okay? If he plays a supervillain, he can't have a co-star that's going to kick his ass in a movie because that would elevate his co-star status in Hollywood, and that would deflate Dwayne Johnson's status in Hollywood. He's got to play the hero. He's got to play the guy that gets the girl. He's got to play the guy with the big cock. He can't play the fucking guy that gets his ass kicked. Okay, he can't do it, okay? His career has progressed beyond that. He doesn't play bad guys anymore. When was the last time he played a bad guy? Okay, well, it was Get Smart, and what was that, like 2011, 2012, when that movie came out? So, like, what the hell? He had quit doing steroids back then, so it wasn't as big as he is now, you know? So, yeah, he's not going to do that. It's going to hurt his brand, okay? So you get an up-and-coming actor to play the bad guy, okay? Not a movie star. Okay, now I like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's not a very good actor, but he's very charismatic, you know, which compensates a lot for his acting. But right now he's pigeonholed his career and pigeonholed into two things. Okay, he can play the tough badass with a heart of gold, which he plays here, or he can play the dumb idiot, fucking himbo. You know, the guy with the big muscles, but it's dumb as fuck. And that's what he does with Kevin Hart. Okay, that's what he did in Pain and Gain. That's what he did in fucking what was it? The Jungle Cruise. Okay, I mean that's what he does. Okay, he plays a dope. That's what he did in the Jumanji movies. All right, so it's like he can play a dumb fuck, or he can play a guy who talks a lot of shit, badass, but I mean he's gonna cave in at the sight of any sentimentality, like he does with Hobbs. Like when he plays Marcus Hobbs in fucking in the Fast and the Furious franchise, and now in his own spin-off. I mean, what is he? He's a big, tough, badass motherfucker. But if you start fucking playing fucking the Powerpuff Girls in front of him, he'll start singing along to that song too. So it's like, what the fuck, dude? You just deflated yourself. Okay, you see what I mean? He's the lovable badass. It's just like, no, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. All right. Although I will say this about The Rock, he did a great singing in Moana. Okay. What can you say? Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, well, that was a cartoon. Okay, so the point is that Black Adam works as a villain. He doesn't really work as an anti-hero. This movie made him anti-hero, which goes against his character. That's not who Black Adam is. They tried in the comic books, it did not work. Okay, right now, there's a lot of changes going on at DC Films right now. David Zaslav already appointed James Gunn as the new head of DC Films. So from now on, you're going to see a lot of fucking one-hit wonders popping up in movies, to add levity. Okay, they're going to try to make it funnier. They're going to try to make it brighter. They're going to try to make it more like Guardians of the Galaxy, where you're fucking listening to disco music in outer space with a bunch of aliens. I mean, they're going to start doing shit like that, okay? Because they want to keep it upbeat. Okay, they don't want to be dark. Well, Batman works in the dark, but not Superman. Okay, he's got to be optimistic. You can't have him. Zack Snyder did a horrible job with the DC universe. I respect Zack Snyder. I think he did a great job with the Watchmen. I think 300 was incredible. Okay, but once he gave him the keys to DCEU, the DC Comics characters, he fucked it all up from the very beginning. I mean, Man of Steel. I mean, what the fuck? Henry Cavill can play Superman. My God, he's great as Superman. But the movies he's in suck. They just suck. This guy's depressed all the time. I mean, look at that costume he wore. It's fucking navy blue and maroon with a little bit of orange. That's not fucking Superman. This Superman's depressed. He's upset. He's confused. He's not sure of himself. He doesn't understand his place in the world. But because Henry Cavill is such a good-looking guy, when your typical human being, when they play depressed, the good actors, when they play depressed, they're just like, but because it's Henry Cavill, he's a good-looking guy. His depression is like, see what I mean? See the difference? Okay, that's not Superman. Superman shouldn't be acting that way the whole fucking movie, and he acted that way in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. That's not fucking Superman. And then they killed him off. They killed him off at the end of Batman v Superman, and we didn't even get a chance to give a shit about him. When he died, I was like, oh my God. Who gives a fuck? He's only been in 2 movies and he's already dead? Oh shit, we know he's gonna come back. But the problem is that we didn't care about him. We don't want to see a depressed Superman, who didn't help people. Like when the bomb went off in Washington and all those fucking, all those senators and congressmen died, he was just fucking standing there like, instead of fucking helping the survivors, he was just standing there and then he flew away. What the fuck? Superman would never do that. You see what I mean? So we already didn't like the guy. We already didn't like him. Then they killed him off. Well, we know he's going to come back. What the fuck? But we don't care. That's the problem. We don't care. Okay, now Henry Cavill can play Superman. He can do it. You just got to give him a good role. You got to give him a good script. Okay? And I don't want to see Superman fight Black Adam. Okay, not yet. Okay? Superman needs to fight fucking Brainiac or Bizarro or Lex Luthor, for Christ's sake. He needs to fight, and not fucking that piece of shit fucking guy, Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor, the beta male Lex Luthor. No, I mean like a fucking alpha male Lex Luthor. Okay, a guy who's all about human beings. You're an alien. This is our planet. That guy. At least that way you can kind of sympathize with Lex Luthor. He's not just a cold-blooded, twirly mustache, type of guy, who's got these questions and it'll be a paradox. Like, what the fuck is that? That's the Riddler. That's not fucking Lex Luthor. That's Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. Fuck that noise. Fuck that noise. I don't want to fucking see Zack Snyder's shit. Thank God Gal Gadot is good as Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman 84 sucked ass. I mean, let's face it. I lived in the 80s, and that wasn't the 80s. Okay, that was not the fucking 80s. Okay? That was a fucking commercial. for fucking Hot Topics or some shit. That was not the fucking 80s. All right. And that movie made no sense. So, so they're not doing very well. Aquaman was decent. It was. But like I said, that's not Aquaman either. That's Aqua Bro. You know, can you dig it? I dig it. My man. Yeah. That's not fucking Aquaman. Okay, that's not fucking Aquaman. That's Aqua Bro, dude. That's the guy that fucking sells you weed at the beach. Okay, that's not the fucking king of 70% of the fucking world. It's not. But I mean, the movie was entertaining, but that's not, it didn't look nothing like Aquaman. What the fuck? This Aquaman is like fucking 6'8". What the fuck? What's gonna happen when he stands in front of Superman? He's gonna fucking look, he's looking down on Superman. What the fuck? You don't want to see that. Anyway. And don't even get me started on the Flash. Okay, that guy. Oh, that guy's all sorts of fucked up, and you all know what I'm talking about. I'm not getting into that here. Okay, well, let's just say that fucking Ezra Miller's real life antics are a lot more dramatic than anything he's fucking done on screen. Okay, yeah. All right. So enough about that guy. All right, that's a real supervillain right there. Okay. So yeah, so I mean, he kind of ruined it. And I know that Henry Cavill, his manager is Danny Garcia. That is The Rock's ex-wife. They have a kid together who's an adult now. Okay, but yes, his wife, and she used to be a bodybuilder before she became an agent, a talent agent. Okay, so yeah, she used to be married to Dwayne Johnson. They have a kid together now. She manages his career, so she's a multi-millionaire. Okay, and she also manages Henry Cavill's career. So of course, if you get The Rock, you're going to get Henry Cavill, okay? They fired everybody at Warner Brothers, okay? Walter Amada is gone. Ann Sarnoff is gone. Toby Emmerich is gone, all right? Jeff Johns, they fired him a while back, all right? So, so all the people, the old guard is gone now, okay? So the new gatekeepers are here. It's James Gunn and some other guy. And hopefully they'll bring back Black Adam. But it doesn't look like it's going to do very well because it's China. Because China's probably not going to take this movie because they have problems with Pierce Bronson. All right, so if that happens, this is going to lose money. Okay, which kind of sucks. Okay, because I like the movie Black Adam, like I said in my reviews, but it was not what I wanted. It's not what I expected. I wanted a really good movie. I expected a good movie. The Rock said that he's been working on this thing for 15 years, and this is what he gave us. This was a standard action superhero movie from like the early 2000s. This wasn't something from 2022. Okay, I mean, there were so many plot holes in there you could fucking fly a plane through them. Okay, like why did the Eternium, the bullshitonium, why did it hurt The Rock sometimes but not hurt him other times? Who was this villain? We knew nothing about this villain. He was a fucking throwaway villain. Why would you focus so much on Dr. Fate just to kill him off? Because they're gonna bring him back. Just things like that. Like the helmet, the crown of Sabak was unguarded. It was just floating up there in the air for 5,000 years, just waiting for some asshole to walk in there. It wasn't behind a stone. It wasn't locked up. It was just there. Okay. The bad guys had been there for 27 years, and they had found that helmet inside the cave, just floating in the air. Nobody could read the fucking words of ancient Kandak except for one fucking woman. Really? And they'd been there for 27 years looking for this thing. And nobody bothered to learn ancient Kandakian. They had to get this woman who was a professor, who's definitely not on their team. She thought they were looking for the crown for good reasons. They imprisoned Black Adam in a tomb for 5,000 years, and the spell to release him, they put it right there in front of the tomb. So all you have to do is read it. Even if you read it by accident, you're going to release the most dangerous man in the world, right? Is that how you would lock up somebody? No, it's not. It's not. That made no fucking sense. All the bad guys get killed easily, but the good guys just get knocked out or get knocked down, and none of them get any serious injuries. None of them get burned or broken bones or nothing like that. They just get fucking knocked unconscious or knocked down. They get back up in a few minutes and they're good to go, just like they were in the beginning of the movie. Okay, but yeah, if a bad guy gets hit, his fucking skull is crushed, his arm is ripped off, he's burned to death. He's thrown through a building. He's fucking thrown from great heights. Screaming all the way down. But if it's a good guy, and then they're okay. I mean, that's just bad filmmaking all the way around. I didn't like that aspect of it. I think this movie could have been a lot better. If they had played him as a villain, that would have been a great movie. Okay, imagine this guy as the main character, but have Dwayne The Rock Johnson play him as a villain. He's the bad guy. The good guys got to take him down, and they can't. And at the end of the movie, they have to compromise. Okay, we're going to leave you as the dictator. Okay, just promise us you won't leave your country. You know, he'll be like, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, and then Amanda Waller can show up with Superman, and you can end the movie that way. Okay, but keep him as a villain, because we've never had that before. We've had it in the horror genre, like, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. We've had, you know, Candyman and all that kind of stuff. We've had the villain as the main character with a rotating cast of good guys, but that's what they need to do because that's original. There is no superhero movie that does it. Have the super villain. Start the super villain movies. Okay, look at the Joker. Now, Joker is a very serious movie, okay, but he was the bad guy in his own movie. He didn't see himself as the bad guy, but he was the bad guy in his own movie. Okay? And look how much money that made. It cost $40 million to make that, and it made over $1 billion. And it never even showed in China. Okay? I mean, you want to talk about success? That's a fucking success right there. Okay, they could have done something similar with him. Not as grim and gritty because he is superhuman, you know, but they could have fucking had him do evil things. And then the best they can do at the end of the movie is contain him. And so they can't defeat him, but they can thwart him, you know? And then we'll see what he does next. You know, you see what I mean? You know, I mean, I don't know. A good writer could have written a better ending for that. Maybe they imprison him at the end or something, but you know he's going to get out. Or maybe they have to compromise with him. Like, okay, you can rule the country, but, you know, you're not allowed anywhere else in the world, you know, or else, you know, that kind of thing. They could have done that, but they didn't. They just had him as a good guy. Yeah, he killed bad guys. Big fucking deal. All the superheroes kill bad guys. Superman kills bad guys. Batman kills bad guys. Aquaman kills bad guys. So what the fuck? You know? You got Hawkman being all, hey, we don't kill people. We don't kill people. No, dude, all your friends kill people. Okay? Come on. Come on, you're Hawkman. You definitely kill people. Okay? So, you know, we don't need that. We don't need that. Okay? He works best as a bad guy. Let him be a bad guy. And that doesn't mean just killing bad guys. That means he kills good guys too. Okay, that's why you don't really root for him. Okay, I mentioned in another video that there was a movie I saw called Hunting Humans, which was about a serial killer. Okay, he's the main character. He's an evil guy. He's a psychopath. He kills people. He enjoys it. He's not going to reform. He's not going to stop. And then all of a sudden he finds out that he's being hunted by another serial killer. So it's a game of cat and mouse between two serial killers. Who is the other one? And they're both manipulating each other. They're both trying to outdo each other. They're both trying to outkill each other. Okay, yes, it's about two evil people fighting each other, but you can't. It's like watching a train wreck. You cannot stop. You got to see who's going to win. You got to see which one of these two psychopaths is going to win this battle. You know, that's what they could have done with Black Adam. If they really needed Sabak there, okay, they could have done that. Two bad guys fighting each other. Okay, yes, there's no good. The good guys all get killed, but you know, who gives a shit? Let's see two bad guys fight each other. Let's see who wins. I'll watch that movie. Especially if they're both fucking intimidating and they're both fucking smart and they're both manipulative. Let's see them try to outfuck each other. You know, 4D chess. The mind fucking. That would have been a great movie, but we didn't get that. You know, we got fucking a nice version of this guy. And that's just not Black Adam. So to me, that's where the movie failed. Is they didn't give us Black Adam. Okay, they did the same thing with Venom. I mentioned that. They did the same thing with Suicide Squad, the original one, the one from 2016. Deadshot is an assassin. They made him a nice guy, even though he's a fucking assassin. He's a nice because he loves his daughter. They focus on that. They didn't focus on all the fucking people that he murdered. They didn't focus. They focused on what a good dad he is. You know, get the fuck out of here. Harley Quinn, she's not really a bad guy. It's the Joker that manipulated her. She was in an abusive relationship. It's all his fault, not hers. Her only crime was falling in love with a bad guy. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You know, Killer Croc, he eats people, but he only eats people that mistreat him, that treat him, that make fun of his skin condition. You know, he only eats those people, right? El Diablo, yeah, he burned his family to a crisp, but it was an accident. He didn't mean to do so. He wishes he could take it back. He's so sorry. I should never have done that. You know, full of remorse. And like, come on, get the fuck out of here. These aren't bad guys. You know, like, no, I want to see villains. I want to see villains that are forced to fucking have to work for the good guys, which means they're trying to get out of it. They're trying to do their own fucking thing. Maybe they want to team up with the bad guy that they're trying to stop. Maybe they just want to fucking just get out and kill Amanda Waller instead. Maybe you know. Maybe all sorts of fucking things. Instead, they gave us pseudo bad guys. that aren't really bad. They do bad things, but not evil. No. We want evil people. I want to see what they're going to do. What's an evil person going to do? Not a person with a conscience. What happens to a psychopath when you point him in the right direction? You see what I mean? That's the movie I want to see. Oh, they can get their comeuppance at the end, but I want to see what they do before they die. You see what I mean? That's what we needed. That's what I wanted Black Adam to be, and that's not what Black Adam was. So because of that, I'm not going to give this movie a pass. It was a decent movie. It's one of the better movies that DC has made in the new universe that they created, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Okay, just like the Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson, that was okay, but it wasn't good enough. Batman should be better than that. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great either. Shazam was fun. It was fun. But like I said, Captain Marvel, Shazam, he acted when he's in his superhuman adult form, he acts younger and more immature than he did as a fucking teenager. So that kind of threw me out of the movie. Aquaman was fine, but that wasn't Aquaman. That was Aqua Bro. Okay, he didn't act like Aquaman. Aquaman's like covered in fucking tattoos and saying shit like, "Can you dig it?" and drinking a shitload of fucking Jack Daniels. That's not fucking Aquaman. He's not like that. Yeah, Suicide Squad was pretty good, but it was funny and it was lighthearted, despite the fact that it's for adults only. But not a lot of people went to go see it. I liked it, but it was the middle of COVID when it came out, so not a lot of people went to go see it. But I did like it. But once again, you didn't really have any villains in there. You had good guys that just accidentally or mistakenly did some bad things, and now they're trying to make up for it. That's not the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is a bunch of fucking psychopaths. Okay? It's a bunch of chaos in a box, and you mix it up. You see? I mean, that's fucking what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to see. That's what Suicide Squad should have been. Okay? They should have been a team of villains that you kind of not sure who you want to win. Should the alien star win, or should the fucking the Suicide Squad team win? You're not really sure. See, that's the kind of movie it should have been. And that's what this should have been. Okay? It should have been like, well, we need Black Adam to win, but do we really want him to win? I mean, it's one bad guy for another. The lesser of two evils. Which one? One guy wants to burn the world. The other one wants to take it over. Which one's worse? I don't know. That would have been a good movie. That's not what we got. Okay, so that's what bothers me about it. Okay, you cannot make Black Adam a good guy. It's like making the Joker a good guy. It's not the Joker. It's not the Joker. So anyway, that's going to conclude my review for Black Adam. I hope we learned a lot. I know this video series was long, but I had a lot to say about Black Adam. I'm a comic book nerd, okay? And he's one of my favorite characters. I love this guy. And this is the first time they ever did him in live action. This is the first time. So yeah, of course, I got something to say about it. I want to go through the whole movie, break it apart. What was like in the comic books, what's not in the comic books, okay? The only thing that saved this movie was the acting. I thought Aldous Hodge was great. Pierce Bronson was great. The throwaway character like Atom Smasher, he was a throwaway nobody. So was fucking Cyclone. Yeah, see, it took me a minute to remember her name. Amon was just there as a plot device. He's the John Connor. Adriana Tomaz just there to be a strong, tough, independent fucking single mom who bosses around all the superhuman men in front of her. Because she's the real power. She's the most powerful person in the universe. Why? Because she's a single mom. That's why. You see what I mean? So it's just like, nah, get the fuck out of here. Do better. Do better, DC. I hope I see more. I want to see another Black Adam movie, but just make him a villain this time. Because that's what he is. Make him a villain. Have the balls to fucking make your main character be the bad guy. Because that would be new. That would be nuance. That would be very avant-garde. That's something we haven't seen already. Okay? Let's have a bad guy be the main character. And no fucking anti-hero bullshit like Venom or Morbius or Suicide Squad. No! You mean a fucking villain? He's a villain. You already got a great villain right here. Throw some superheroes at him and see what happens. You see, that's not what we got. You think this motherfucker would have ever been like, no, we made a great team. You really think he would have fucking done that? No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. You think he would have fucking traded blows with Hawkman? No, he would have taken Hawkman's head off in one blow, and that would have been the end of Hawkman. Same thing with all the other superheroes. You think he would have knocked out fucking Atom Smasher? No, he would have shot right through Atom Smasher's head and come out the top like a bullet. Look, you can't do that because he's a good guy. You can't do that. He's a good guy. What the fuck kind of bad guy fucking doesn't kill good guys? Doesn't hurt good guys. He's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. This guy's not a bad guy in the movie. The movie about him, he's not a bad guy. They got the character wrong. I'm sorry, they did. I'm really pissed off that he doesn't have any hair. Black Adam's got hair. You know? Oh, well. Okay, so that's going to end my review. I will be back soon, and I'll start doing the chick flick reviews again, because I know that's what you want to see, okay? I'll come back and get those out of the way. Thank you for watching this series with me, okay? And you take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.